Hi, my name is Tanya from Popo Books, and I'd like to show you how you can optimise your reading experience with your child using our quality educational resources. Let's begin first by looking at Amelia Faces Her Anxiety. The books are designed to be part of a pack. Amelia Faces Her Anxiety is the storybook for the reader. It looks like a common school reader levelled at middle primary. The question guide is for the parent, teacher or facilitator with a replication of the story, annotated with a series of questions. Having a look at the storybook Amelia Faces Her Anxiety, the back of the book gives you a reading level guide. In this case, it is mid to upper primary, which also highlights the amount of running words and the text type. In Amelia Faces Her Anxiety, which is perfect for mid to upper primary and describes a pretty common scenario that most children will experience. Amelia is worried about her Year 5 overnight camping trip. She's never been away from home and isn't sure how she'll cope without her parents. So the story itself provides a valuable lesson by overcoming your fears. However, just because this book is about anxiety doesn't mean that your child has to have anxiety in order for them to read it. This book is really about an opportunity to start a conversation with your child about what they understand when they read, but also giving you the ability to tap into their social and emotional well-being through the connection questions. The question guide has a series of interactive prompts which will help the reader learn how to analyse the text, regardless of the size, to deepen their level of understanding. Here is a snapshot of the question guide in action. At the beginning of the guide, you will find information and tips about how to carry out the reading session. I would recommend that you do read through these before starting. If you are unsure about anything, please email me with your questions. With each new story, you become familiar with the process and the purpose. It is important to read through it, as it explains the symbols used and the superscript numbers. The stars are a reference to a section at the back of the book, words and phrases used in chronological order, which gives an explanation about some of the terms used if you or the reader are unsure about it. The superscript number at the end of the questions are linked to a tracking sheet that I have developed for teachers to use, which are linked to the Australian curriculum. As a parent, you don't need it, but they are available for teachers to use. Let's have a look at a page. The left-hand side gives the page the reader is looking at with the annotation highlighting the evidence or justification in the text to the questions asked. Ask the question, what does it mean to face something? Giving the reader the time to think about the question and time to answer the question. If the question is unable to be answered or isn't quite right, you have the answer here to read out. You don't need to think about it or work it out. It is that easy. When you provide the answer to the question, you are building their vocabulary and word knowledge, so it's important to use the terminology in the guide. When you are reading with your child, it is most effective to read in small amounts of text at a time, so they can monitor what they are reading, and you get to check in with them to ensure that they are understanding what they are reading. One page might take 5 to 10 minutes depending on how the reader answers and what they do know. The first set of questions focused just on the title page. Therefore, this book is not intended to be finalised in one sitting. It may take 2 to 3 15 to 20 minute sessions to complete the book, covering 1 to 2 pages at a time. Remember, the goal is to comprehend the text and not how quickly they can finish the story. There will be many teachable moments that you can take advantage of. This is not a book to assess where your child is at. This is a book to teach. A one-to-one experience giving explicit information on how to analyse text. The beauty of this resource is that it is done for you. Just follow the prompts. Also available is Sebastian's Monster and the Question Guide. Now that you've seen Popo books in action, you can discover the range for yourself via our website www.popobooks.com.au. Happy reading!